We need to be keeping an eye out on how the market's going to react to the pricing in of these rate hikes after having the job data come out there. Everyone's asking me, I got a couple of DMs. Hey, the jobs data was good. Why is the market tanking? Well, because we're pricing in aggressive rate hikes now. The market, you have to realize that when the market is very weak, J Powell can't, if we're drowning, he can't come in and stick his head on, his foot on our head and keep us under the water. He's got to placate us a little bit. And when we finally learn how to swim, then he can start testing us, and that's what's happening here. So the jobs data looks good here, and he's now going to, the pricing of the market here is that we are going to price in some more aggressive rate hikes. And that's why we had that big old sell-off. We got this pop here off of S2, like I said, a very strong level, and we'll see how we react coming up here. We've got first resistance on the NASDAQ up here at the 14,609, and up here at R2, which is also a very strong resistance level. So we'll see if we bounce between R2 and S2 today going forward. Nice green candle here. Let's take a look. I'm going to bring out the VIX on the bottom. As always, VIX has popped up to 1625, dropping now to 25.53. 10-year hit 1.901 for the first time since January of 2020, which was prior to Corona, at least the Corona crash. We already knew about Corona, but we didn't quite get the crash until February when the first cases were reported in the United States. Little top wick here, just at R2. Bonds brought down to 139 after being up to 142. And the market is primarily red with a couple of green spots throughout. Amazon, as we all know, had this massive, massive upside in post-market after the releasing of their data. So Amazon went all the way up, 18% to 32.89. Believe it or not, I actually had calls up and thought about taking that earnings play, but obviously elected not to take that play because one contract was like 16 grand. And that was going to be a lot of risk if I was going to pay a couple contracts on that. So I elected not to do that. Man, I wish I would have. That would have been nice to have two back-to-back colossal wins. But no such luck. I did take a couple of futures trade, which I had a rogue fill on, by the way. If y'all saw, I had a rogue 300% gain on a rogue fill on some futures yesterday. So interesting action. That was the one of the first. It's the first time it's happened to me to that degree. To that degree. Little bit of wick on this green candle right here at R2. Let's take a look at XLF. XLF had some nice upside with the bonds. The banks are liking these rate hikes. And the rest of the market here is pretty much just like copying each other. We've got this little downside followed by this little pop here right now. What up, YouTubers? How's it going? All right, there's that red candle. See, my thought process was they were going to pop it and then drop it. So we'll see if that does continue on here. I don't want to take a play yet. I want to let this thing shake out and then see. What am I thinking? I don't want this to form your bias, but what my plan is to take, I don't know, a 3 or 4 DTE put in the morning and try to let that ride as long as possible. See if we can get that big sell-off into close. Small position just in case I'm wrong and that position gets blown out. It doesn't really affect me all that much. That's why it's all about risk mitigation. So we'll see. If we get any upside here, I think I will take a longer put to see if we can smoke that downside. And it's not only because of the data. If you look at that 1 year chart, the 1 year looks primed for a drop in terms of analyzing price action and volume analysis. So I think the 1 year chart is kind of directing us lower into the 4300s, which is why that on any kind of pop here, I'll be looking at taking a put. I won't necessarily hold that over the weekend. I'm just taking a 2 or 3 to 4 day DTE put to avoid the huge downside if I'm wrong. You take a 0 DTE, and we get any kind of upside, it's going to blow out the position. So that's why I would still close it this afternoon. I would just take a less aggressive put. Big day today as our YouTube channel finally passes 20,000. So thank you all for the continued support and the growth. I greatly appreciate it. It's amazing to see. It's amazing to see. All right, red candles here. See if I can scalp us an SPX put here. Let's see. Looking at the 4460s on SPX. That's going to be the 1 days. Oh man, don't do that to me, E-Trade. Stupid E-Trade. All right, let's see, SPX. I was on my futures account. It says you cannot trade on SPX on a futures account. Well, no duh. DOI. You don't get a lot of DOIs these days. Oh, freaking. I'm trying to get in this position, but E-Trade won't let me. I'm trying to get into put here. All right, let's see. All right. No dice so far. No dice so far. Let's see. Watch this price action. We bounced a little bit here on S1. Morning, Anthony. How you doing, buddy? All right, VIX is bouncing up here. We've got Facebook is got a little red side there. Apple is starting to come off the highs just a touch. What's Amazon doing? Amazon fell from 3106 to 30. That's 100. Is that a 100-point candle? Is that what I read that right? 3122 to wow. That's a 100-point candle. But it looks tiny. I've never seen a 100-point candle look so tiny because of the scale of that chart. Crazy. All right, so big green bounce off of S1. Look at that. Boom. Healthcare, yeah, XLV is quite green, and still climbing up there, which is probably drawing a little more strength into there. XLK is red and green. XLF had a little coming off there. We'll see how the rest of the tech here is starting to respond. Google had a big red. Tesla is still red and down. Facebook is red. Google is red and green. And Tesla's down there as well. So letting the day play out. Little top wick here. Not seeing too much strength, but we know how that can reverse. I want to let the day play and form my strategy. Thoughts on Facebook calls? No. You have to realize that, Facebook, there's a reason why they sold. You don't get that big of a sell-off on just the market selling off earnings. Like usually maybe 3-4% maybe, but 25%. Their business model had took a huge hit. They posted $10 billion loss. They posted the first time ever that they posted a net loss of users. The people kind of see the ship is sinking. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Facebook back in the single digit or the hundreds in the next couple of months. So that's my personal opinion. But I'm not touching Facebook calls. It's low for a reason. That's right. Me personally, I hope they go to zero. I hope they go to zero. If you think the stock is going down, you buy a put. If you think the stock is going up, you sell a put. Selling a put is a bullish position. You're very welcome. Very welcome. All right, still holding S1. I don't see a lot of strength here. I don't see a lot of strength. Is there something you want to know about it? They reached out to me to collaborate, and I've never used them before, so I didn't, I don't like to collaborate on something that I've never used before. That's why I was asking about Bookmap. Am I in a position now? Negative. Negative. No positions. Little green here off of S1. Testing up to the session high. Hollowed out that range just a little bit, 44699. That is $2, almost a $2 candle right there. Blast off, blast off. Today's going to be nuts. Yeah, today is going to be a very volatile day. We already seeing that big downside move. SPY sold off from 447 all the way down to 443, and now we're back up to 447 just as quick as we went down. So we'll see what happens as we start to climb and test these levels here. I would be incredibly surprised if we have strong trend up day today, but I've seen crazier things. I've seen crazier things. Yep, I'm still going to wait for the 1005. Still going to wait for the 1005. Follow on green candle still climbing up there. A little over now, approaching a $3 move in minutes. 2 candles, $3. Crazy bounce there. Crazy bounces. It's still on, still going, still going. Now we're testing again, R3. I personally, like I said, I personally have a hard time thinking if we're going to have a trend up day. But like I said, if we do break up here, I will flip and take calls in a second. So that's just my thinking, my personal thought. When you're taking a credit spread, calling a put, what is a credit spread is you either take puts or you take calls. I don't know if that's what you meant there. Do you buy a call and buy a put, or do you buy a call? No, it's not. Yeah, so credit spread, for example, if you're doing a call credit spread, you're going to sell and buy a call at the same time. And if for a put credit spread, you're going to sell a put and you're going to buy a put at the same time. The put, you're selling a put that's closer to the money. You're going to buy a put that's further away from the money. And for a call, you're going to sell a call that's close to the money and buy a call that's further away. And that gives you a net credit. Another big candle there, green. And now going on, there's just reached a $3 move in 2 candles. Let's see. Switch over to SPX. Are we there yet? No, not quite there yet. VIX has fell 2462 and still falling. XLF is green up the top there. And here is the NAS right there. All right, I am entering my first put of the day. It's going to be a February 7th to reduce the volatility, the 4460s. So there you go. Why would you have negative options buying power on a TD cash account? I don't know that one. What's up, Lester? How you doing? Oh, nice credit spread, Mike. I will definitely take a look into them. Is there something on the charts you saw that convinced you to take puts? Yes, absolutely. R3, me personally, I think R3 is a considerable level upwards. I don't see us going trend up today. My conviction is that, and I'm going to play to that. We did have a resistance level top out here in pre-market, which we just tested, and which is yesterday's point where before we fell. So VIX now is at the right kind of right where this first little area where we bounced is 2489, and then we've got top wicks. So now I gave myself the room to be wrong by taking a February 7th put. If I was very strong on that conviction, I would have taken a 0-day TE. But I left myself some margin of error and took a February 7th put. And that's way for me to mitigate risk. I intend to hold this position a long time. At least I'm trying to hold this throughout the day. It all depends on the price action. If the positions start to rally against me, I'll cut it loose. Obviously, I'll put a stop on there, maybe 20%. I'll probably put a 20% stop on it. But my hope is to get this thing to go down and continue down to 46 to under 44.60. Amazon is up 30.80 and they already dropped 100 points too, which is crazy. Crazy stuff. We still have 15 minutes of the morning range set, so this could go a little higher. And we'll analyze the price action there. What will change now? Here's what would change my conviction. If we blast up through R3, take out R4, and the buying volume is starting to at least is either sustaining or increasing, that would change my thesis on the day. That would say, all right, well, they're at least going to rally this for at least an hour up until the late morning session, at which point I don't want my position to be blown out, so I would go ahead and exit and re-enter at the top. Like I said, I do not think we're going to trend up, even if we have bullish action here for the next few minutes or next morning session. I don't foresee us going a trend up strong bull day. There's too many variables right now that I'm seeing. So, but I mean, obviously I want to maintain definitely a healthy respect for risk. Hey, there's a red candle. Yesterday, VWAP was concrete all morning long before we finally dumped. If you go back and look at yesterday's price action, we held above VWAP all morning long until we finally broke it and then broke down throughout the day. So we'll see if that happens now. Right now, we're bouncing off the 8 after that little bitty red candle. VIX is slightly green. I definitely want to make sure I'm monitoring the others, especially the strong green action on healthcare. If they come off and XLF comes off, it might start to bring some downside here. What is your thesis that we don't trend up? The action on the 1-year chart. Now, I will preface my response to that with the fact that in this level of volatility and all the different market variables, it kind of waters down fundamentals and technical analysis because the market's so volatile. The reason why volatile is so risky is because it kind of it injects a level of unpredictability into the markets. However, the 1-year chart looks primed for a downward move. The selling volume picked up here. The day's candle has taken out the prior lows. We have this big red engulfing candle. We're not quite yet to a support, and we're coming on down. In addition to that, we've got the market going to price in some rate hikes. So we'll see what happens. The rates, the 10 years popped up almost to 1.9. If we pops into 2.0, we're going to enter a pretty hairy area. There's a couple of different things that's making me think that we won't have a trend up. That's not to say we won't have any bullish action. I just don't expect us to have that strong upward trending green bull action. I will tell you, if you did follow that play, now's your chance to take some profits. I am being a little more risky than I normally am, although still mitigating risk. I'm being a little more risky holding this put. Now is your chance to take profits off the table. I don't want to hear, me, the position went red. So take your profits. This is a nice little move for your position. Take it. Let's get out. What's the highest stop you put on a play? I had this question in DMs earlier, and honestly, I've over the past 9 months I've given answers and stuff like that. But and honestly, the best answer is it depends. My stop loss strategy is dynamic. It all depends on the position I'm playing, the entry, my thesis, etc. By the way, we're touching VWAP now. Let's see what happens around VWAP. It all depends. Nice, Justin, 38%. Nice, Chris, 20%. It all depends. If I am going to play a breakout, for example, yesterday, prime example. Let's come back here. All right, let's say we get this price action. We come up to the top of the range, which is precisely what I did yesterday. Top of the range, I'm expecting a breakout to the upside. I take a call. On this particular play, I want to set a tight stop because I'm playing a speculatory play where I think it's going to go up, although I'm not entirely certain. So what I want to do, set a stop or take the play and set a very tight stop, either break even or 5%, negative 8% stop loss. If it breaks up or if it get a little bullish action, I'll move the stop up to bring in commissions. So if I get out of the play, I lose no money, including commissions. And then you move the stop as a blast up. As we blast up, okay, now you can kind of set you can either set a dynamic trail stop, or you just kind of manually manage the position. That way, if the position blows down, it trips the stop. I'm out of the position. It's more of a speculatory play. That's why on a speculatory play, I don't even know if that's a word. I apologize. I'm not a languager. You want to set tight stops. Give yourself the margin of error to say to yourself, hey, I could be wrong here. Now, on plays like this, where I think there's going to be a reversal play or a high confidence play, or if I'm playing the trend, for example, on a day like this, if I want to play calls on a nice trend up, I'll give the stop loss a little more breathing. I'll set a 20 or 25% stop because I'm following the trend, and when you follow the trend, you're giving yourself more chances for success. So when I'm following trend, larger stop loss. If I'm trying to play a reversal or a breakout, I'll play a tighter stop loss. Nice 25% gain on puts. Nice, Ross. Well done. Rates back over 1.91. All right, here's a bounce off VWAP, R2. Climbing back up. Are you guided by MACD and RSI? No longer, no. They are outdated tools that I no longer use. I'll throw in the RSI for some long-term stuff, but that's about it. MACD is excellent at predicting the past. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's a Monday morning quarterback right there. Captain, it's Captain Hindsight. Captain Hindsight uses that tool. I'm out of these puts. Excellent play. Furthering my confidence that OM is psychic. Nope, I'm definitely not psychic. I've had my face punched in enough to know when to play certain things. I'm wrong. I'm wrong all the time. Y'all see, I'm wrong all the time. I take losses. Let's take a look at the Euro markets. There's a little tanky. The Deutsche market is not looking very good at all. All the way down from 15,280 to 15,088. Swiss down as well, and look at the UK. They're still falling. Little bottom wick candle. Don't like to see that. Sold at 15%. Thanks, OM. You're very welcome. Good job. Good job. That's good. Yeah, that's a responsible way to use RSI. I have no problem with RSI in a longer term stuff. For me, it was the day trading with RSI that kind of threw me off of it. Is that it was a little too, it was wrong too many times for me to actually use it strategically. What's the name of the indicator that you use for the support and resistance levels on TradingView? That's my custom indicators that I use that I calculate every day. And one of our members or mods now, blah blah blah, he created the script for that indicator. Where all I have to do is go in and throw my calculations in there, and it forms the levels. Thanks, blah blah blah. Thanks, OM. Took that put, closed it for 25. Well done, Remix. Well done. For me, it reminds me because I've got a daughter, and like yeah, one of her favorite movies growing up was that Transylvania movie with Adam Sandler, the vampire. I just always think of him saying, "I don't say blah blah blah." Anybody seen that movie? Mrs. OM is watching. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Strong move off of VWAP heading back to R3. NASDAQ is heading to the top of theirs as well. Looking like we have a little bit of continuation there. We need that to drop. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm okay taking a loss on these puts. I want to hold these because I do have a conviction that we're going to go a little down. Not to say that we will, but that's my conviction. And then, of course, I'll let the market decide when I'm wrong. And I'll exit accordingly. But y'all got some good profits out of it. That's all I care about. Nice bull move off of VWAP. NASDAQ just formed new highs. We got 5 minutes of the morning ranges set. So hard to play spreads when every news event and earnings makes huge moves. Absolutely. That's why you see the amount of spreads I've been playing the past few weeks have been very small because when you're getting intraday 100-point moves, it's hard to play profitable spreads. Which is why our tier 4 channel with Ved is incredibly valuable because that dude is like, you think I'm psychic. I mean, that dude is, it's crazy. It's crazy how good he is. So he's able to navigate those waters a lot better with spreads. Another rejection of R3. What percentage of your account size should you risk in a trade? It all depends. It all depends. The shorter DTE position, the shorter I get with my DTEs, the smaller the account size, and vice versa. The longer I take, the bigger position size I take, because the longer stuff is more of a conviction play. However, it all depends on you. You know, if you've got $1,000 account, you need to be very diligent on your profit on your account size, position size. By the way, another rejection of R3. So 1-2 contracts at the most, depending on the premium that you're paying too. So I've traded upwards into 30% on one position, which is incredibly risky. I've traded as low as 1% or 0.5%. So it all depends. Another break, another top wick on R3 here. Volatility is very tough to trade. Very tough to trade. I mean, look at this. We had this big sky is falling rate hike 1461 on Nasdaq all the way down to. I mean, that's a 100-point something move, and here we are just straightening it immediately on a dime, straight climbing all the way up to 14, back to where we were, 14611. Amazon just gained back that 100-point drop. Let's take a look. Yeah, they did. That's just crazy. Crazy. Definitely a lot of bullish action. Look at Tesla here, though. Tesla's got a lot of top wicks. Apple is still very bullish, climbing up here. Google, beast mode up there. VIX, let's take a look at the VIX at the bottom. Still holding this 2446 level. NASDAQ is hollowing out their range, matching that high. And SPY is there, hitting our R3. So the Amazon is starting to push the Nasdaq higher here, starting to put tech higher as we go up and up and up, and that's bringing the market up as well. XLF is downtrending now. XLY green. XLV, where's that going? Gave him back some of its profits, about half of them, with this little green candle. We've got, all right, there's that 10:05 time frame right there. The range is now set. We'll see how we react to it. Did LOM sell on voice? Nope. And the position's still profitable for me. I'm not going to sell yet. I'm just waiting to see how we react. This is 10:05. We're at R3. Yes, the market's definitely looking bullish at the moment in this particular point in space. However, my conviction is we at least retrace to the AM lows, and I'll let the market decide when I'm out. My intent is to hold this SPX put throughout the entire day. However, I will tell you my conviction is that we go down. This is pretty much a decision point right here for if I let that thesis run, because if we do pop above R3 and blast, I'm out the position. I'll close it. I'm profitable right now, not by much. I think there's positions about $1 in the green, $1.50 in the green, just $1 at the moment. Not even that, so it dropped back down. So, well, yeah, about $1.50. So, right now I'm letting the market decide what I want to do here. If we do break through R3 and launch, I'll close it out. I'll reanalyze as we go out. But we're kind of sandwiched between this 8 VWAP R3. The Nasdaq's looking bullish. Amazon is reclaiming their losses. Or am I going to sell a call credit spread or just play the downside? I think I am going to sell a call credit spread, depending on what I can get. Like I said, this is the decision point that'll kind of form the rest of the day. I let this time frame right here decide, kind of flip me where I'm going to go. The market's very bullish at the moment, way bullish than I expected for sure. Would I switch to calls? Yes. If we break through R3 with conviction, I will switch over to calls. Definitely. All right, let's see if we get a move here. It's still holding the 8 right now. Nothing to shake a stick at, but small candles. Volume is slightly dropping off, but we're just kind of trading sideways at the moment. All right, there is a little red. Come on, baby. We got to get through VWAP, though. I'm not getting any kind of excitement at all until we blast through VWAP. That's what I want to see. I got 27.90 on these puts right now. It's tempting. I'm not gonna lie. It's tempting to take half the position right now. That's a heck of a win right there. But we'll see if we get the VWAP, we'll touch the AM low. If we can get the VWAP, if. That's like when Bill Clinton was being on when he was testifying, and he asked the question, "Could you define is? What is the word is?" Am I on the 5-minute? I'm on the 3-minute. Would I consider doubling down on this put position if you see more downside? Yes, I would. If I see that market wide, like that, we kind of shake out the bulls and then the sellers hit it. Yeah, I would, for sure. Come on then. You got to get through VWAP first. VWAP's our first obstacle. And it's at S2, of course. I'll let you pick which one is tougher, VWAP or S2. But we got a little bottom wick. VIX does look it's curling up just a touch. R2. Dang it. R2, yes. Can somebody point me where I can check the Euro markets? Here you go, right here. We'll check them for you. Bam. If you're on TradingView, here, you know what? I'll do this too. Give me copy link. There you go. There's my watch list right there. In fact, I'll post it in the OM analysis. There's my watch list, updated with the global stock market. Yeah, VWAP is widely used. If I had to guess, VWAP is probably the most common technical indicator on everybody's charts. Yeah, I was cracking up on that one too. Yeah, for sure. All right. So we are below the 8 on the 3-minute, and we're bouncing off VWAP again. Same stuff as yesterday. This looks exactly the same as yesterday's price action. And there's a big green candle. Little $1.20 move there. I'd like to get some follow through, but right now it's the same old action as yesterday. Same old action. We'll go back and recap. See this? Just hugging the top, down, touch VWAP, bounce. Come down, touch VWAP, bounce. And then we finally broke through it at 10:20 Central, so about another hour and 10 minutes is when we finally broke through yesterday. But same old action. And that's a big old healthy green candle right there. Another test of R3. That's now 1, 2, 3, 4 times we are testing R3. What are we going to do with it? Man, somebody already collected 4.5% of their total account just by trades in the tier 4. That's awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Would I re-enter a put now that it's at the top again? Nope, not yet. Because there's still strength here, and I still could be wrong. I still could be wrong. So me doubling down would be an ego play saying, I'm definitely right, when I could be wrong. So the only way I will double down is if I get the big downside move, the dig smoke show, which right now, look at this, 2 big follow-on greens. That's a $2 move off of VWAP. The bulls are still here. So I'll add on confirmation, not on failure. Tech is still very much strong. Amazon is absolutely just beast mode out the top here. So uh, we're bringing along the Nasdaq, and it looks like we're about to break out the top. There you go. So we finally got through R3. We're at the top of the range. Biden speaking today at 10:45. Okay. And there it goes. Oh, nope. Came back down. 448.27. We're still holding the top of the range, right on that R3. What's XLF doing? Let's see. XLF rounded up there. XLY still increasing. XLV is just doing this crazy little, like, it looks like Heikin-Ashi candles right there. And XLK still climbing up. Tesla, what is it doing? Everything is hugging the top. Ooh, Microsoft just climbing like crazy. And there it goes. All right, I'm about to close this position. Let's see. I'm now down right at that 20-cent level. And crazy bullishness in the face of multiple rate hikes as we are buying back up. Crazy stuff. Hope you all would take some profits on that one. When do I switch to calls? If we get follow continuation through this bullish action is when I'll look at taking calls. So I need a confirmation candle. We're right now popping. This is the first candle popping through R3 and the top of the range. I don't want to take calls and then be reversed. $1.92 on the rates, and the bonds now are falling out the floor. Bam. Tesla, never without a dull day. They're always either up 2%, down 5%, up 11%, down 5%. They're never just flat. They're always a crazy, crazy play. The green line on my chart is VWAP. Blue line is the 8 EMA. Oh, and my puts are down 50%. And I feel like I just have to hold now, hoping for it to go down. This is the problem I have holding on to losers. Me personally, I'm not letting a position go to 50%. So if 50% is an indication that you're very wrong and you need to cut them, just cut them. So I promise you, here's the thing. Obviously, there's some definitely gotchas on that one, but you can always re-enter a play. If we do break down, just re-enter a play. But if we do break up here, that 50% is going to go. I assume that's a zero. 50% will go to zero very quick. 0%. Given this price action, when you go to look back at puts, a breakthrough through R3 or wait till VWAP. Oh man. Well, I'm almost to the point where my conviction's wrong. I'm not quite there yet. I'm almost there. If we do blast up here, I won't look at puts again unless maybe in the afternoon session, if the price action changes. In fact, right now I'm going to bring up calls. Let's see, 45. I'll go with 45.10s on some I'm gonna scalp 0 day on some calls. 45.05. Just in case we break up. Touching the bottom of the cloud on the 1 hour is doubling down on puts for Biden's speech. Oh, nice, Nomad. Nice. So 10:45 Eastern Time, Biden's going to deliver remarks on the jobs report. 11:45 will be a press briefing, and 2 o'clock will be talking about the labor agreements. If we break out here, I'm closing these puts, these 44.60s. Very similar action to yesterday. Just hugging the top of the range, glued to it, bouncing off VWAP. So it's hard. That's why the Nasdaq's a little more bullish, straight up. But right now, SPY is hugging the top of the channel. Right now, we need to figure out what it's going to do. With so much volatility, would you consider straddles? Before Biden's speech? Maybe. Maybe. Yesterday, straddles would not have been a good idea in the morning time because the price action was flat. So you may have had some decay on that one. How do I feel about Facebook right now? I don't know. Outside of that event play, I don't want to. I don't even want to look at it anymore. But I think with the, I think me personally, I think Facebook's a dying company. I think they'll be no longer a mega cap in the next 5 years. But we'll see. Not to say they will be gone, but I don't think they'll be a mega cap in the next 5 years. I mean, when's the last time any of you have ever been on Facebook? Like, red candle, red candle, green candle. Yeah, but no one uses Insta anymore either. Insta is also a dying thing. People don't want pictures; they want videos, which is why TikTok is exploding. People want that. They want that entertainment of the videos. They don't look at pictures anymore. So that's why I even think Instagram will go away too, or why Instagram is going to adopt a TikTok style uh, setup. Let's see if Nomad Trader's right. Let's see if we get some downside here. Rejected the top of the range and coming down just for temporarily, but we're still within the trend line. There's an upward trending line here we're still above. We need to break through this area through VWAP and then come on down if we have any hopes for these puts. Yep, there we go. Bouncing off that trend line again for NASDAQ and still going up. Am I still in the puts? Yeah, I'm only down like 9% of these things, so yeah, I'm still holding them. My thesis is still intact. Until my thesis is broken, I'm still going to hold these puts. I don't necessarily even care about the profit loss in terms of decisions. I care about the thesis, and right now it's still holding. Trade your thesis. At that point, we'll just have Vine all over again. Yeah, it's kind of like a little circle of life. TNX 1.928. We are sandwiched between R3 and the top of this range here and the trend line. So we're going to have to pick a direction here in the next few minutes. Let's see. Euro markets closes an hour. They've got a little dump going on. So UK is starting to retract. Swiss is starting to retract just a touch. Let's see if that brings a little action here. I don't know. Tried to use OM's SR lines for the first time and had the best day ever. 20% overall portfolio gain. Well done, Bernard. Well done. I'm glad you're liking the SR levels. Hey, there's a little red candle. What's up, little red candle? Uh-oh. Let's see if we can get some glory. Let's go down to 444.80. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Come on. Come on. Come on, let's go. And break. Down. Down. If we break down here, we'll touch the bottom of the range. Come on. Give us some, birdie. That's what I'd like to see. Sorry, I'm trying not to be emotional. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. We need to go down here, though. We need to go down. We need continuation. We need continuation. This thing could rocket back up just as easily as it came down. So that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful. Let's wait, see if we can get on. We need continuation is what we need. See this? We built this city. Let's see. I hate follow-on reversal candles. They are the most annoying thing in the world. That's what makes me want to get out of this position, is immediate reversal candles like that. There's no continuation here. And there we go. Right back up. I knew I wasn't the only one that talks sweet to SPY. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I'm still holding, Brian. I'm still holding. Love your streams. Great. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate that. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you. How do you have such confidence and conviction over your thesis? Because I admit that I am wrong. I am perfectly fine. Well, I don't admit. I admit there's a possibility that I am wrong. And when you do that, you kind of cut out the clutter and you set a game plan. I have a game plan if I'm wrong. I have a game plan if I'm right. And we go from there. And once I have that game plan in place, a process, it kind of takes out the stress. And I don't care what happens. I play the market in front of me. If I take a loss, who cares? Like, my win rate is high enough where it doesn't matter. I'll get it back. I take losses all the time. And once you admit to yourself that you can be wrong, you can kind of cut out that crap. I think in all of trading, this candle right here is the most annoying candle, the immediate reversal candle. Out of nowhere, like it's below a trend line, and it just got this green candle, I'll tell you that. So, my wife never lets me know I'm wrong. That's funny. That's funny. I got 27 bucks on these puts right now. I was thinking about getting out when they were at 30, but it bounced so freaking quick. I couldn't get out. I couldn't even think about taking a call or taking an exit on those. Are you able to predict these kinds of sudden reversals or using a tool? Predict is a strong word. Predict a strong word. I just, my experience and my knowledge, I want to take a high probability. Yeah, forecast. I want to take the highest probability play that I see. Am I always right? No. But it's all about taking the highest probability play. Me personally. Keeping an eye on the UK market going into close. And here, look, not to say that I won't still lose on this position, but we broke above the AM range. We kind of peaked above the AM range there. What if I close that position because it scared me? Because I got a little fluttering in my stomach that position was red now. I'm like, oh, and I close a position now, like I'm up like almost 10% or over 10% on these things, almost 20%. So that's why you have to form your thesis and trade your thesis, not your profit loss. If you're trading the green and red numbers on your brokerage account, you're going to be spooked out of positions left and right. I told myself, if we get strong conviction blast through the top, then I'll close, which we did not get. So now we're down. Not to say it won't go back up again, but there you go. We built this city. Oh, don't want to do that. Rock and roll. Sorry about that. Little flash. I don't know why I've got that song stuck in my head. Did we talk about that the other day? All right, I got 30 bucks on these. 30 bucks. Can I get a fill for 30? I might take a small position off here. 30 just to lock in some profits and pay for the trade. How about that? I think that's a smart move. Let's do that. There's $29.95. I'm going to put in a limit order for 30. Got it. So I close a portion at 30 just to take some profits off. And down we go. And down we go. There we go. Come on. How's it looking, Nomad Trader? How's it looking? All right, stand by for a second. I want to manage a few things since we're getting a little action. All right. Yeah, well, Jonathan, I'm not right all the time. This was a great play, and I had a strong conviction about it, which is why I took that February 7th. But yeah. Let's see. In Rolling Stone magazine, onliners read the poll. We Built This City was the worst song of the 80s, really. Huh. You know what song I love from the 80s? Power of Love. I don't know. I think it's because of Back to the Future. Love that song. There is that flush, baby. God, what a great job this is. What a great job this is to create money out of thin air. All right, let's see here. What we got? $34 on these babies. If we break down here, I'll hit 100% on these. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. If we break down here, we're going to test the lows, I would expect. Which, remember, look, S3. If you look at my screen, S3 is the hard one, which is I might consider closing position there. I might consider closing down S3 or S2 there because that's a strong one. That's a strong one. Your passion is palpable. Well, I don't really consider myself an emotional trader, but I am very passionate. I love trading because it keeps me engaged. It's constantly keeping me on my toes. It's not easy. If it was easy, I wouldn't like it. It's hard, and that's why it keeps me engaged. Nice, Nomad Trader. Let's take a look at the euro. What's it doing? Coming on down too. If you are holding some zero DTE call credit spreads, now's a good time to cover that stuff. It's a good time to take some position out. You should have at least 50% on those if you took them earlier. So now's a good time to start covering. Take some risk off the table because this is a very volatile move. If you get, here's the deal, in a level of volatility of this market, anytime you can get a decent profit, take it. Take it. I promise you. I've been reversed plenty of times before on spreads. It's not fun to watch a 60% profit on a 0 DT position go to 300% loss in an hour. It's not fun, especially in volatile conditions. All right, let's take a look at Euro. They're still breaking down. Swiss is still breaking down here. If the UK 100 decides to follow on with the Swiss here and continue to fall, watch this level on the UK 100. If you're following the UK 100, watch this level right here. If we break below that going into the last hour of their trading session, because their trading session ends in about 50 minutes, if they break down, it's going to bring the U.S. futures with it, and we could test S2. S2 is a very, I'm telling you, I told you this morning in pre-market, S2 is a very strong level. We need to watch that. Just went from minus 50 to plus 25 out for good lord. Nice, Mason. Well done. Still down 10% once it reached the same price I brought it in. Yep, theta at work. That's a live lesson in theta. Yeah, I'm voice streaming in Discord, and then as well I'm doing this. The benefit of that is, one, I do voice streaming in Discord Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's no delay. It's live, so whereas YouTube has about a 2 to 3 second delay. All right, let me see here. February 7th. Donde? There you are. Spreads when I hear 60, I wonder why I trade them at all. Well, I mean, here's the deal. I want to say this in a very, as delicately as I can. If you are trading spreads, there is no reason you should ever even think about max loss. All right, if we break here, I think we'll test S3, which is this 443. I do think that the market will gravitate back towards S3 just below the AM range, and then with a high potential for it to bounce and come back into the range. That's what I'm kind of thinking right now. The range is the yellow line, S3, or I'm sorry, S2. I keep saying S3. S2 is the bright red line on your screen here. Biden speaks in 2 minutes. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate that. Yeah, so if you are playing credit spreads, here we go. All right, here's a breakdown here. Nasdaq's coming down. Stand by. Maybe I'll scalp me a little zero. We'll see. Let's go with the 4470s. Come on, baby. Watch this UK line and bouncing off of it. Be aware of your market conditions. Don't just look at our market and drool all over your keyboard. Look at the UK here. This is the big guy. The next ticket, the next price, the next time that we need to focus on is the 11:30 Eastern, which is this baby right here, the European market. Boom, there it is. Come on, baby. Make sure it's not a reversal candle. Sometimes they'll stop lossy and then they'll reverse it. Put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it. All right, what are these babies doing? I got $37 on here. If I can get 43, that's a 100% gain. Can I get 43? I'm sorry, 46. 46. It's a 100% gain. If I can get all the way down to S3, I'll get pretty close. I can get pretty close. I think we'll bounce at S3 personally and come back in the range, but that's my thought process. I'll tell you what, I'll remove that prediction. I think we're going to touch S3. The bounce, to be determined. But I do think we'll at least touch S3. Or S2, dang. I'm all over the place. I'm clicking all over the place. Z Brenny, if you look in OM analysis, you will see my watch list posted. Take a look at that, and you've got the global markets. You're very welcome. There it is. Let's come on. Give me S3, baby. Give me S3. Come on. Can I get 46 on these puts? Can I get 46 on these puts? Give me 46. We built. I've got 39 flashing now. If you're looking to take puts, please wait for the breakdown of S2. If you're looking to take calls, look for a bounce off S2. S2 is a considerable level. We've already bounced one time. I do expect at least some sort of price manipulation at S2. To be determined if we flush it, but I think we will at least kind of bounce off of it, check a little bit. If we continue on, that's to be determined. Rates are 1.93. Yes, you did hear Miss Elliott reference. UK is testing this level again. 75.03. Wicked off of it. Closed out put. Nice, Lester. $130% on my 0 DTE. Nicely done, Matt. Well done. 100% gain. By the way, in preparation for the new Options Millionaire website being released coming up in the next month, we are fielding testimonials. If you do like what you see, both in my community as well as maybe Veterans Tier 4, if you like what you see, send us a testimonial. Greatly appreciate it. If you want me to use your username, I'll be happy to do so, or your real name, I'll be happy to do so. Just imply that in the, or state that in the DM. And yeah, you'll get it posted up on the website. I'd greatly appreciate it. Help us grow and adapt to bring in some people that also need some help. What is in Vets Tier 4? Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable what that guy does. You know, I've had the pleasure of getting to know Veteran over the past year, and I'm not easily impressed, but I'm incredibly impressed by that guy, which is why I offered, well, not offer, I jumped at the chance to work with him. So he talks about everything, man. More so than his talk about spreads, He's very well versed on when and how to play certain market conditions. Time is a huge thing that people forget about. People are so worried about, they're so wrapped up in technical analysis that they forget about the market works in time. And he definitely explains that and goes over his processes. Highly recommend it. Everybody in that room is making up their tier 4 fee in one day. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Highly, highly recommend it. If you want to see details on the tier 4, go into the Patreon and actually look at the tier 4 category, and it kind of goes over everything. Ross says he paid for my tier 4 subscription with 1 day in one trade suggestion. Nicely done, Ross. Nicely done. I'm still holding these puts because I do think we're going to have a little more downside, although that's why I went with the 7s. I took some profits off at 30 to pay for the trade. The more profits I take, the less the market can hurt me. OM's patience in that play is amazing. Oh, thanks, Johnny. Appreciate that. I hope the value of me talking about that play is more than the profits, because that's the whole name of the game, is get you to learn how to do that without listening to somebody listening to me. Does tier 4 also have voice streams daily? No, not yet. However, one of the things we'll be doing soon is for Vet to have a voice channel dedicated to tier 4 where he'll kind of go over his stuff, because over there he's typing a mile a minute and it'd be easier for him to just talk it out. So, but that is coming, yes. Really appreciate you talking through that play. Great education. Had 37%, 42%. Nicely done, Jim. I love it. Do you need decent account size to play Vet's plays? You do need a few thousand. I would say at least 15 to 20. However, you have to realize the value in Vet is not just spreads. The value in Vet is talking about time frames, talking about reversals. He calls out key market levels, which you can play longs against. You don't have to play spreads to be in that room. You can talk. I mean, the value he gives off is way more than just playing spreads. I'm not spooked out of this little green action here. We're still holding S2. I would anticipate, because there's a little downside expectation with the market, with the UK closing. We'll see. How can we sign up on tier 4? Go over to the Patreon and just go ahead and sign up. If that's something you want to do, go to the tier 4 category and sign up for it. And all it will do is charge you the difference of your current tier that you already paid and the difference in tier 4. So if you signed up, tier 4 is $125. If you've already on tier 1, you'll be charged an additional $115, just the difference of tier 1 and tier 4. All right, we bounced just above S2 and headed back inside the range. How did you and Vet meet? I met Vet just like y'all did. He came in, he saw my Reddit post back in April, and he came on the server. He's like, "Hey, who's this jabroni who thinks he can trade?" And he joined the server. Unbelievable. No, it does make sense, Mags. That's what I'm trying to teach y'all. So we came down just above S2. That's why I said watch out for S2. If we bounce, I told you I anticipate price action at S2. If we do continue on falling, great. But at first, before that happens, there's going to be a price manipulation at S2. In addition, look at the UK markets. This is why it's happening right here. So there's always a rhyme and the reason. You just have to dig deep enough to find that reason. Yeah, and ask questions, Michelle. Absolutely. Absolutely. Michelle says she's tier 4 has been awesome. She made her tier 4 subscription by day 3. Awesome stuff. I love it, Michelle. How do you get S1, S2, and S3 on indicators? I calculate those. I've got a couple of different videos on YouTube to how I calculate those. No, they're not standard deviation. Nope, they are price action pivots based on volume and price action, and open interest, and gamma for that matter. Dynamite levels video. Yep. Mike and Mike, if you go over to the OM analysis channel, look for my watch list. I posted my watch list link, and that'll show you the tickers I use. I guess technically, yes, Vet found me, but yeah. All right, another red candle forming on UK, maybe just a relief bounce. Watch this level here. I'm going to post this. Here we go. I want to play a CCS, but I also don't. I'm the worst. You and me both, brother. You and me both. Which tier do we need to see where you post? Tier 1. Tier 1. Tier 1 gets you access to me, my plays, my discussions. Tier 2 gets you access to also me, but also Cody, who we also talk about spreads. We discuss spreads, options writing, premium writing. And then tier 3 gets you the Zoom calls, and you get access to a couple of live day trading sessions, as well as 3 Zoom group sessions a month. And then you got tier 4, which we already discussed. Nice, Case Omega, 3 trades today. And then once the volatility settles down, we'll continue the 2022 income challenge. That's still on the plate, but kind of on the back burner because of the volatility. I'm not really playing all that many spreads, and I recommend you don't do so either unless you're under the guidance of vet and you know what you're doing. Yes, I highly encourage you do not go on to spreads until you know how to work the market, trade options, which doesn't take all that much. Just get your hands dirty. Get elbow deep in this market. Learn. Can I make a video showing your setup? Yeah, I can do that. I think that's the most common request, and I haven't done it yet. But yes, I will do that. Markets, UK, still jumping. How do you like your coffee? Just a very small touch of creamer and a little bit of sweetness, not much at all. I don't like it black, but I don't like it like where it's just, ton of creamer. I just like a little bit. Like trucker coffee, that's what they call it when there's nothing in there, trucker coffee. Yeah. I do have a pretty good coffee maker too. That's because my wife does. She loves coffee, so I had to get her that Philips 3200. All right, here we go. Testing the lower bounds here. And what I mean by that post, testing the rubber band effect of S2, because yes, I call these things levels, but these levels I would like to think of more as zones, like zone defense, Or the rubber band theory, where, yes, the price action kind of breaches that level, but you have to kind of think of it as a rubber band. It needs enough momentum and juice to break that rubber band, not just kind of stretch that rubber band. Do you execute your options only on E-Trade? E-Trade and IBKR. I'm now testing IBKR. I'm actually on the brink of, I've already transferred a lot more funds in IBKR, which is kind of like my buying power is a little bit more limited than usual. But I'll be doing all my funds in IBKR shortly. Did somebody say coffee? Yeah. Yeah. New lows after 11:30. Why the move from E-Trade? Because in the past few weeks, I've had to spend 30-plus minute sessions on the phone with them trying to close out a stupid trade, and it's over something dumb. So, I told them that I'm done with this. I'm done with this. And I've been with them for over 10 years. I've had a substantial amount of capital involved with them, and I'm just tired of it. So, I'll be going over to IBKR. Don't get me wrong, E-Trade's still a good, it's still fantastic for execution. It's still fantastic for trading off of it, but they're not quite professional. Like they're not like there's still that line of the little junk that I have to put up with. It's like, man, come on now. I know how to trade options, just haven't mastered any strategies yet. Would you recommend learning spreads? Yeah, definitely. When you start learning spreads, your market awareness and your ability to see price action increases, because it kind of heightens your level of senses. You have to be on your game because spreads can be risky, so it requires you to learn price action, and it'll teach you very quickly if you're wrong. If you're not respecting the risk of the market, it'll teach you very quickly. My first day with Tier 4, any roadmap on how to take advantage of all the offerings? Yes. Get through today, tonight, when the market's closed, go into Tier 4 and dig. Search for Vet's comments, his buddy SL who's in there. Search for all those comments, go through, read every single thing in there. Go down to Vet's questions, read that as well. Absorb everything you can. And then write down a piece of paper all the questions you have and then start asking Vet questions. Right now, I trade on IBKR and E-Trade. I still think we breach S2 at some point today. Still think that. Don't let me form your bias though. That's just my thought. I'm just verbalizing my thoughts. Here's the thing with IBKR. Eventually, one day, they're going to update. And it'll be a phenomenal interface. It may take them a while, but I bet you one day they'll get along with the times. Does Vet do SPI only? Vet does SPX and futures and MES. That's all he does in there. And that's all y'all need to do. You don't need to worry about anything else when you're doing that kind of stuff. If you want to take a look at the books that I have to offer, go to theoptionsmillionaire.com, and I've got them. Here, I'll post it up there for you. I've got a list of all the books that I've read and recommend. There you go. What do I think of Webull? I think Webull is very pretty. Like when I downloaded it for the first time, because I did download it once to trade some crypto, and I was like, man, this is actually really nice. Like it's cosmetically pleasing. You could tell they spent a lot of time on graphic design and all that stuff, but it's a dumpster fire to trade on. Me personally, I hated it. Hated it. All right, so I'm just ready for some more price action here. I still think we're going to fall, but we will see. At least to S2, at least below S2. I'd say right in here. After that, I'll reanalyze, but not without a bounce first. We'll see. Not to mention IBKR, the ability to trade SPX overnight is huge. Is huge. Which is one of the main reasons I've moved funds over. Somebody randomly left the Extreme Ownership book on my microwave. Oh man, fantastic book. Highly recommend it. Even for outside trading. If you want to be better as a person, read that book. I think one of the biggest problems today we have is that people don't take ownership for anything. There's no consequences. It's always somebody else's fault. No matter what happens, it's always somebody else's fault. Somebody cuts you off in traffic, you're yelling at them. Oh, yeah, well, think about the last time you cut somebody off in traffic. Why'd you do it? Most likely it was because it was an accident or you're in a hurry. There's no ownership. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. Do I trade overnight a lot? Yeah, I trade a lot. I trade futures quite often overnight. I'd be interested to hearing from traders with little experience how they did in Tier 4. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. I like it. I notice XLF gets mentioned more than you reference the X sectors, trying to figure out why. Because it's a great question. I love that question. Although, yes, those other three X's do have a higher weighting of the financial sector. However, financial sector is a high vis because they are the banking sector. The banking sector is heavily involved with the rates. The rates affect the banking sector quite aggressively. And normally, when there's a divergence between SPY and QQQ, it's because of the X sector, the XLF, the financial sector. Usually the financial sector is up while tech sector is down, and it causes that divergence between the Qs and the SPY, which is why I monitor XLF so much, even though they're lower weighted than the K, Y, and V. Great question. Can I do a live stream for futures one day, like 1 o'clock in the morning? I guess I could. I am working with Q to develop a futures role. So if you want to be notified for futures play at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can elect to do so. But I don't want to hear any griping if I wake you up in the middle of 2 in the morning. I trade ES overnight. UK is coming down. All right, there's the red. There's the red I was looking for. So NASDAQ's coming down here. SPY is testing S2 again. What was that coffee maker? The Philips 3200. There it is. All right, here comes S2. NASDAQ's coming down. UK is coming down. Swiss is already below lows. NASDAQ or the UK needs to take out that. But we're bouncing off of S2 right here, coming down and touching it. Can we get a bounce or we're going to go? I'm still holding the remainder of this position. Where are we at? I'm at $40 now. I need $6 more to get 100%. Let's go. I'll close half of the remainder position, which is variable change. Do the math. If we get to 46, just because I want that 100%, but we'll see. You want a good coffee maker? Technivorm. I'll check it out. 103%. Nice leg go. And there's a good bounce right there. Right off S2. I told you S2 was going to be tough. S2 is going to be tough. It's almost protein 32. Another top wick. Watch the NASDAQ. It's coming down to their range. We're right now on S2. Right now, I am focusing on managing this current put to see what I want to do here. I don't want a big, strong bounce to blow out profits, and then we just V-up recovery, because V-ups is on the table. Me personally, my thesis is met. Now it's managing my profits. I'm happy with this. I'm almost at 100% gain. Well, now a little lower. I'm very happy with this position. I don't want to give back profits. I'd like to see S2 be broken down. We have got 15 minutes left until the euro market closes, but I want to manage profits here. If I'm ignoring questions for the moment, just bear with me. I want to make sure I'm on top of this. Still monitoring though. OM, you taught me how to train my brain for trading. Oh, nicely done, Chief. I appreciate that. That's a huge compliment for me. I think if you can change, managing your brain, I think is more important than technical analysis. So that's a huge compliment. Thank you. All right, here we go. Test of S2 again. Do we bounce or go? If we bounce here, I'll probably go ahead and close out these February 7th puts. I'm going to go ahead and do an entry on these, or entry form, a post, I guess, not a form. in the Discord. Here we go. Test of S2. Do we break or go? NASDAQ still falling. UK is still basing around this level. All right, breaking S2. If we get here, watch out for the lows. Just because we're breaking S2 doesn't mean it's a confirmation of flush. We still have the lows of the day, which is 443.41. If we take out pre-market lows, then we could start thinking about some flushes. But right here, there's still a lot of resistance there. I hope you all see the importance of these levels. Booyah, look at that. Look at that. Man, what did we catch off that put? 448.75 to 444? What, a little over $4 move on that? I'll take it. There's a green. There's a green candle off of S2. Bam. I'm going to go ahead and close them. Let's see. And I'll re-enter if need be. I tried to get a 40 fill on that one. Couldn't quite get there. We're now at 36. It does look like yesterday. But if we continue to flush, we'll see. If we touch that yellow line again, I'll close these puts. How about that? The remainder of these puts. Another top wick here. Remember, the UK market closes in 12 minutes. They're still down, and we're still top wicking on the 8. How does the euro market closing typically affect the markets? It doesn't. There's nothing typical about up or down. However, we do usually have some sort of price change at 11:30 Eastern, which is coming up here in 11 minutes. Look at the NASDAQ. Looks like it wants a clear bounce. We have up, down, and then we're right now at the bottom of their range. Here's the UK up top. By the way, 275 people watching. If you wouldn't mind, hit that like button. Helps the algos do their thing. Greatly appreciate that. Get some visibility with the channel. Sorry if you've already answered this. What is the significance of monitoring the euro markets? Because the euro markets will adjust right there at when they go into their close at 11:30 Eastern time. The markets will move around that because big times are trading the global markets and it moves the markets. So when you watch that 11:30 time when they close, We usually get maybe a pop if we're selling off because of the euro markets. We might pop right at 11:30, which looks like we may actually do. So you want to be aware of all those times. Those important times. 11:30 is an important time. Which level gives you access to all your trades? Tier 1. Tier 1. Well, it gives me access to all my long trades. If you want to look at options writing, then Tier 2, you'll need to do Tier 2 as well. Top wick, just under the range. We're not quite back in the range yet. Your Facebook play was amazing. Oh, thanks, Paul. Yeah, that made for a pretty good day. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I get about one play like that every year and a half. I don't take a lot of risk. So I get about one big play like that every year and a half. That was nice to have for sure. Was that more of a lotto play? No, because I took an at the money put. A lotto play would be a deep outside the money put. So if I would have took like a 250 put, that would have been more of like a lotto play. But I'm not risking that kind of cheddar. It was a $10,000 play, so I'm not risking 10K on a lotto. It was an at the money put. Whereas my thought process was I was bearish on Facebook, but if I thought they were going to go up, I thought it would maybe go up. They'd go up like 2, 3, 4%, and it would put my put down like 50, 60%, which would have sucked, yeah, but it wouldn't have blown me out. So obviously the play worked out in my favor, but that's why I took an at the money put. The rogue fill was very fun. Yeah, the rogue fill yesterday on my futures was pretty fun. That's never happened to me before on that level of to that degree of profits. And they still it's still in the account too, which is nice. Do you take all your profits and put them straight into your long-term account? They're still in there now. I only do skims quarterly. I do quarterly skims. So I just have to be careful. I don't give it all back, you know. Skims, like I maintain the same balance every quarter on my day trading account. I don't let my day trading grow and grow and grow. I do quarterly skims. So every quarter, I give my portfolio a haircut, take that money, and I transfer it to other investments. I transfer it to my long-term trading account. I transfer it into IBKR, whatever it is. What is a rogue fill? A rogue fill is when you sell an option and you get a fill, like you sell it for way more than what the ask actually is. Way more. So yesterday, what had happened? Here, I'll bring it up on, and I'm going to be careful because we're coming up on 10:30 here, so I don't want to yap too much. This right here, yesterday. This was yesterday. Obviously, this is SPY, but same price action. When we had this big climb up in after hours, so I was watching it. I had my order form up for those calls on the futures, and I was watching the ask, and the ask was doing crazy stuff with all this volatility. It was going like $7.50, $20, $80, $15, $20, $90. It was all over the place. Like it was flashing all over the place. So I took my position and I hit a sell order to close the entire position at $60. And I'm like, I didn't think I was actually going to get filled. I do it quite often when I see that kind of craziness. But I got a notification for one order, one contract filled at $60. And yeah, so I was like, heck yeah, man. And at the time, the actual value of the option was like 25, 26, 28, somewhere around there. But I got a fill for $60. You didn't get IV crush from earnings being over? No, That was a very big move. The move was very large to overcome that, Savi. Moment of silence for the poor soul on the other side of that order. Yeah, yeah. That's why you don't do market orders. I'm sure that guy was like, "What? I just got to fill it for $60. I'm already down like 80, 90%." I trade on I chart off TradingView and trade on E-Trade. I'm gonna close this position. 32.30 right there. Can I get it? Right there. All right. Close the rest of that position at 32.30. Bam. Alrighty. Now on to the next trade. Looking at 44.7 calls for the moment for a scalp. Look at that move. That's a big old move right there. Nasdaq's bouncing. We're right here over at the man. Look at the. You see this? Right into close. UK is bouncing. Man, it's slow cooker Korean beef. I just saw somebody's recipe on the food channel. That looks delicious. I love Asian food, man. Love it. Cut my puts at 25% loss and they hit green a few minutes later. Nicely done. Nicely done. Oh, what do you mean? Am I thinking a small put for the weekend for Russia just in case? I'm not going to hold anything overnight. Not with these moves, no. My buddy's girlfriend's boyfriend took a $265 Facebook put and woke up to 10 grand. Nice. That's a nice little payday. All right, testing VWAP. OM kept me calls during that play, and I was able to gain 15% on my portfolio on several different put entries. Nice. Nice, man. That's well done, man. Having a little 50% day is always fun. Always fun. Is trading your living? I mean, I still have. I'm still a pilot. You know, I'm still a military pilot. But yeah, I mean, I've been trading. I mean, you can call myself a full-time trader because I do trade all day, every day. I'm able to fly at nights, so you can call myself that. I love what I do. I'm able to quit my job if I want to, but I love what I do. It's an amazing job. Oh, nice. Yeah, see that Cessna there in your profile, where it appears to be a Cessna. This tiny little profile picture. I'm actually going flying this Saturday and doing some personal flying. Taking up a little Piper. Logistics officer, nice. That's my brother was a logistics officer before going pilot too. Fly Bonanza, I like Bonanza. I like Bonanza. They're I think they're one of the most affordable retractable gear aircraft, if I remember right. One of the Bonanzas. I could be wrong about that. All right, we are now here at VWAP. No additional trades so far. I don't talk about what I fly currently in the military just for OPSEC purposes. I have taken what I have flown before. But yeah. That's crazy. Been hesitant to take any plays this week after an awful January, but made a quick scalp on calls. Feels good to be back in the W. There you go. It only takes one to get your confidence back. Just don't give it back. All right, I'm going to bring up 4480 calls to ride if we break up a VWAP and start testing top of the range. UK market is now closed, and they're still trading upwards here in their after hours. All right, we're now through VWAP here and through S2. Let's see if we can reclaim S3. How often do I live stream? Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On YouTube, I stream every day in the Discord, but on YouTube it's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Do you think the market crash we saw a couple of weeks ago will continue this year? Yes, I do. One to 10, how happy are you with the way this community is going? Interesting. 10. I enjoy this very much. I love trading with y'all. It's better than trading in a quiet office just listening to music by myself. So I enjoy this very much. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It was about a 2 prior to charging. When this was free, it was about a 2, if not a 1. Not gonna lie. The amount of crap I was dealing with, it just wasn't worth it. I was ready to shut the whole thing down. So, but since I did start charging an entry fee and cut out all that crap, it's been amazing. It's like literally within a week, it started changing the atmosphere immediately. So, and the moderator, yeah, having the moderators has been fantastic. So, but now a 10. Imagine if he said one. I hate y'all. I hate you all. No, I'm just kidding. I love you all. Y'all are great. Do military pilots mainly stick to a certain category range of planes, or can they fly a wide range? Um, no, they can fly anything. Once you're a pilot, you can like all it takes is a little bit of training to get you to a different aircraft. If it's a bomb, like if it's like a, if you're talking about heavies versus fighters, heavies is bombers, like then it'll take a little bit more training, but still, flying's flying. You just have to get used to the mechanics of that particular aircraft, the characteristics of that aircraft. Now that we've bounced from S2, do you think we might visit S2 again? Oh man, I don't know. I'm still. I don't want to make that distinction too quickly. I want to kind of want to let the market play out a little bit here. Is it common to move from fighters to larger planes and vice versa? I would say it's just. I would say it's common to move aircraft, but I have no, not really, not necessarily fighters to larger planes. The main thing that makes a military pilot change aircraft is deployments. They're tired of being deployed. Like some aircraft are more deployable than others with a higher demand. Like C-17s, you're freaking deployed all the time. If you fly your C-17s, you're deployed all the time. So, in some some pilots, in their later years when they have families, they get tired of deploying all the time, so they'll switch to a less deployable aircraft. Is my put thesis off the table for now? I would say it's paused for now. I'm no longer holding any positions, if that tells you anything. What do you think of the A-10, and why does the DoD keep trying to replace it? Because it's an incredible aircraft. I don't know. Oh, I don't know about. I don't think. I don't know why they'll. And why does the DoD keep trying to replace it unsuccessfully? It is a very old aircraft. It's an aging fleet, and I don't want to get too much off on a tangent here, but A-10 is one of my favorite aircraft. It's one of my favorite aircraft in the whole wide world. It's a very maneuverable. It's a very effective aircraft. But I think there's such a still a role for it in our fight that we've been fighting. That's why, and the Army loves it. But appreciate you sharing the Euro indices ticker. As soon as I took calls 11:24, UK started to bounce. Now I'm up nicely. Well done. Awesome stuff. Nice market awareness there, Devo. Nice market awareness. How do I convert SPX to SPY? Can you repeat the value? It changes. If you look in the UM analysis, I posted it today. I think today was 13.19. So what you would do, you take SPX, you subtract the value, which today is 13.19, and then you divide by 10. My favorite also, I was in artillery. Oh yeah, artillery, yeah, for sure. Quick 18% from R1 to R2, nice. Yep. The A-10 is a plane wrapped around a gun. That's what it is. They built the plane around the gun. Nope, you can do that, Chris. In fact, that's something a lot of people do. Something a lot. If you've got less than 25 grand, some people do. They take that and they spread their money across multiple brokers. Of course, you could do a cash account, but yeah, you could do that. You didn't hear that from me though. Bitcoin hits 40 grand for the first time in more than 2 years. Department of Justice confirms it is looking into 30 short sellers. There's a probe looking into 30 firms that were short selling. Interesting. Am I a fan of F-22s? Yes. I love that aircraft. Although it's, I think it's one of those kind of like, it's like owning a boat, crap ton of money, and it's. I know a couple of people that were F-22 pilots, and they never get hours because the thing's always broken. So they're only flying a couple of hours a month because, pilots like to fly. If you're flying C-130s or C-17s, you're flying hundreds of hours, thousands of hours, But if you're an F-22 pilot, you're only getting maybe a dozen hours or so a month. How do you get 3 charts on TradingView below each other? If you go to the top, or you know what? Give me this little number right here, and we'll go. Yeah, click on that right there. My favorite's the F-14 Tomcat. There you go. A little bit of Top Gun action. My all-time 2 favorite planes in the whole wide world are the B-17 and the P-51, World War II aircraft. Nothing beats those. I've always wanted to be a pilot, but I had an injury a decade ago that left me blind in my left eye. Fun story. There's a Air National Guard pilot that was already a pilot, and he had an injury that he lost his eye, and they gave him a waiver to continue to fly with only one eye. But he was already a pilot. That's different. Had a contingency contracting course at Pax River Naval Station. Their base. Nice. Let's see. Were you in contracting? Were you in military contracting? Hitting golf balls and watching the F-20 throws. Oh, yeah. Amazing. Oh, nice. That's exactly my thing too. I was in contracting in the Air Force until before I became a pilot. That's what I did before I was a pilot. All right, so we're now holding this little price action here. I think I might go ahead and call this a morning so I can go grab me some lunch and some protein shakes. Stomach is starting to grumble a little bit. Nah, I don't think Biden's speech will move all that much. Green action here. Are we going to get a Biden rally? Is that what we're going to do? Man, this thing's popping. I'm trying to get in a position. This call just kind of the Biden rally. I couldn't even scalp anything. Little top wick right there. They're going to downplay COVID. I don't know. I haven't really even heard anything. I haven't even heard anything talked about COVID in the market news in a while. Big green candle. Look at that. No position. Didn't get in. Didn't get in. Just watching it go. All right, so VIX is testing that lower pivot. See if it comes down to 23.53. All right, y'all. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call that a morning. We've rechased off of S2 so far. Things have played out exactly how I was looking at. Bounced off S2, came back up, and we'll see what happens from here on out. I'm going to go ahead and call that a morning. I hope you all learned a little something today. I tried to verbalize as much as I could. If you have any more questions about everything you saw today, any kind of trades, any thoughts, please post them in the Discord so everybody can see. Just at Options Millionaire, at me, and we'll go over some discussion so everybody can see that time frame. I spent about an hour and a half today answering some DMs before the market opened. So I'm sure a lot of you got answers from me today. I'm going to continue that this afternoon. So just be patient with me if you've got an outstanding DM, or if it's been a while and I just missed it, just shoot me a reminder and I'll answer the question. So thanks for hanging out with us. I will see you all bright and early on Monday, if not this afternoon, for the Discord stream. If you want to come over and join the community, link is down in the description. If you do it earlier in the month than later, you get more value, obviously, because there's more month left. So go ahead and sign up now while it's early so you can get the most bang for your buck. I appreciate every one of you all. I'll see you later. I'm out.